Chance,
What?
come on in here for a second.
Dude, I'm trying to work. I'm busting my balls.
Well, I'm about to bust your balls more. Just got off the phone with Owala Bottle Company, and we got to stop the presses and possibly bring this rig in, take it on if we can knock out from design concept to finish in 6 weeks.
Come on, 6
Look,
weeks?
they're calling back just to make sure that we can do this. This is how amped they are for us to do this. 6 weeks. We got to design it. We have full creative control. They're just going to wash their hands. They think our stuff is so awesome that they'll just give it to us, but they've got a show in California in 6 weeks for us to have it done and be presenting to the world, both their stuff and what we can do.
What kind of project is it?
So they want a display van for their water bottles, but they also have to have it be certified to pass national food and beverage handling capabilities.
You need like 20 sinks in it.
That's the wild card. It's not just there's some cabinets in there. We've got, 3 triple basin wash sink, hand wash. We're going to have espresso coffee machine. We're going to have soda machine. And they've got to have it be able to pass for spillage, service window, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be a unique one.
Well, at least we're kind of driving the ship, so that'll make it a little easier.
Yeah.
All right, well, get it in here.
All right, I'm calling them back.
So how'd the meeting go with the client?
Well, they're amped on everything. They love the look, the design. Basically, the few things that we got to work on is kind of the stuff that we knew we've been saving for the end, which is some of the design elements of how to store their merchandise and their cups. So that's going to be our big focus this coming up week. And to the very end is this rear end section. But yeah, I mean, they were pretty surprised that we were able to get this far, this quick, being able to integrate everything that we needed to from the health department, which has been a real struggle, has been achieved at this point. We got a triple basin sink, the hand washing sink, our water heater and everything is all fitting in here now pretty well. So a lot of head scratching, but I think we're in a good spot, and they were pretty impressed at where we're at. We've kept them out of the loop for most of the design, and so today was a bit of a reveal of hopefully you like it. So they were amped on the design of how you walk up, and we've done the display for their cups up front, a little bit of merchandise there, the lower shelf so that you can see into the rig, and it's not blocking basically the pass-through. So at this point, yeah, we just need to focus on finishing up the elements of the heating and water systems and the soda machine. And then, yeah, Kevin and myself maybe brainstorming on the rear displays. And then this thing's off to California to the Surf Fest.
Yeah, it should be looking pretty good at the end of next week, I think.
Yep. Well, our deadline is 2 weeks, which for us is 8 working days. So we've got 8 days to turn this into a workable, usable food service authorized health department event rig. I know that this is our biggest system. So yeah, our power system on this side, this is the extra set of battery banks here. This is our largest power system we've ever put in a van, but also including trailers. So yeah, any issues,
It went pretty smooth overall. Yeah, 20 kilowatt hours, so tons of storage. We're going to have about 600 watts of solar up on the roof, so that'll be good.
Yeah, they were asking about the roof, if they could walk on it. And I said, unfortunately, you are completely covered front to rear with solar, so not this time. Maybe the next van we build for them, we can have an elevated deck and gull wing of solar panels or something funny. But this one's moving so quick. I think from the time we started on this until delivery date, I think we had a total of 6 weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that includes designing and yeah, so. But cool, yeah, I'm excited about our massive power system.
Yeah, it was a little challenging squeezing it in around the fridge and everything, but we were able to separate the battery bank, get it in there, and it turned out pretty slick.
What's the joy of working with 48 volt? Imagine if this was all 12 volt batteries.
Yeah, it would be, sorry, you couldn't do it.
We'd probably have like 200 pounds just of this wiring sitting here.
Yeah, we'd have a lot of 4-aught cable running. That'd be pretty challenging, for sure.
Well, we've got 8 working days after this to get this knocked out, and I think the whole team's feeling pretty good. So yeah, let's jump into it and get this thing finished up for these guys and on to the next one.
Countertops in and
Come on, Stella, let's get out of here. Or you stay here. Hey, friends of Reparadise, we got something pretty cool and unique that came out of our shop recently that we want to showcase today. This has been a really cool project because we've been able to do a commercial rig for somebody. This has allowed us to explore a lot of design ideas that have been really fun for us to produce in shop with our CNC and our 3D printer. So this is kind of a molding between our traditional camper vans and taking some of those elements that have the saga line to them and then translating them into how they would work with a commercial rig. So I mean, you can tell right away from the outside, it's got a very splashy and powerful statement piece. And we were able to incorporate quite a few of the things that you see a lot of vans, you utilize, like our racks and our awnings, our wheel tire packages, steps, front bumper, rear racks and boxes in order to store some of their gear. But a couple of things that do really stand out and make it kind of a unique, kind of flashy appearance is right away, I mean, one of the first things people notice are these giant wake speed boat speakers that we've got out here. So this thing has a huge, powerful sound system. It's hooked up to a Bluetooth system that allows them also to operate it as a PA system. So it's nice, they can get on here and they can pull out their mic and they can talk to the crowd, they can get them amped, they can talk about what they're offering, whatever they want to throw out there. So that's kind of a cool thing for us. We've got a guy in the shop that just geeks out on audio video stuff, and we just let him run with this. The guys at Owala were just like, do anything you want as long as it's like badass. So I think we nailed it. This thing's a ton of fun to turn on and it gets heads turning 100 yards away. I know you won't be able to hear it through this this video clip, but it's it will shake the van. So after we check out this whole exterior, I mean, the lights and everything that are on here, you can see all the ground effects that are going. It brings people right into it. So let's open these doors up and check out the first thing that people see when they walk up to this, as soon as they see this powerful piece. So right away, you see something pretty unique. And I don't know if this is anything that there's anybody in North America is putting on these vans. And this is these acrylic backlit made by 3form countertops. They're just bold, powerful, and beautiful. It fits their aesthetic really well with the color palette and just immediately sucks people into this space. We designed this area right here. This fits, this is kind of a display case, a shadow box. So we'll have their bottles sitting right here. So as soon as you walk up, they're right at level to be able to grab, touch, feel, and then talk to somebody. We shrunk down this countertop to a point where you didn't have an area blocking you from being able to communicate with who's inside, but you can also just lean in and chill and kind of peek your head in and still be a part of it while being able to utilize a display case and a service counter. One of the reasons we have these counters right here is back, even though we don't show it right now, there's an espresso machine that sits up there. Hidden really nice and clean inside is a whole soda box. We've got 3 different kinds of sodas they can spray out of there. We've got an commercial rated ice machine, refrigerator. It's got everything you need. We actually had to be able to get certified by the health department nationally. And so they could take this all around the country and get temporary operating permits so they can, fling drinks basically and not have a problem. So that was one of the unique things, was to be able to make sure that everything we did was going to be able to pass code. So that was really important, hitting the amount of fresh water that we have and the surfaces that we use. We had to pass code and send our stuff in to get certified that, yes, this material works in the food industry. So even though it looks pretty and clean, it's also functional and passes National Safety and Food Handlers Code. So let's jump inside this thing. We'll start talking about some of the features and look at all the cool stuff we did. So we wanted to use these rear doors as the main display. When everybody comes in and gravitates to the van, obviously there's going to be the point of sale area up front, but we didn't want to waste the fact that this was a really grand space for displaying their product. So this was a fun one for us to come up with a unique design that would incorporate, as you can see, their logo, but also allow them to have a dynamic space for them to move around and set up their product. It's not just going to be fixed in one area. They have a whole different line of shapes and sizes of their cups, and so they can get kind of creative with how it is displayed. So this kind of gives you a quick idea of what it looks like. These guys right here, we designed and 3D printed in-house, and this just makes for a quick clip system, locks in place. It's kind of satisfying how it clicks in there, and that just allows them to stack anywhere they want. But also I think it's a beautiful design statement piece, incorporating their logo, and also flows really well with their own designs. Pretty happy with the fact that you have 2 spaces in this event van where people can congregate. It's not always just going to be up front and people always just facing the van this way. This allows some flow through the van. So on the back and the side, there'll probably usually be about 2 people in here. So you can have one person at the point of sale counter passing out drinks and talking to people, and then one standing here also, grabbing and explaining and talking to people. So it allows for a way larger area around the van for people to congregate and see and feel and talk about product. So as we move into the van, just a ton of display and countertop space in here. You can see countertops all throughout. We separated the light up acrylic blue countertops. We didn't want to overpower and just everything and visually everything would be focused on those. So we did a solid surface in the rears here, which like I said, we had to match what the health department wanted. So we do have a triple basin sink, and under here, this feeds into a secondary gray water tank. And we have another gray water tank that services the fridge and ice machine and everything. We've got a hand washing sink up front, and we've got 35 gallons of fresh water in here. So it's kind of cool it was definitely a challenge to try to figure out how to fit everything, even though this is a 170 van, and still give them room to store stuff. But as you can see, we've got a ton of overheads. Everything above here, they're going to be able to stock full of merchandise, hats, shirts, more water bottles, giveaway products, koozies, stickers, everything. So this is all open, and most of this is all packed full of, obviously our sinks and stuff are in here. And then of course, on the other side of our systems, we've got our water side on the driver's side of the van. And then on the passenger side of the van is our world-renowned power system. Traditional power plant that we've talked about in a lot of our videos, but this one's supercharged. This guy has 20 kilowatts of power in it. So we have 8 of our 50 amp hour at 48 volt batteries in here. We've got 4 of them stacked in our traditional spot for the 170. And then we made a new cabinet just on the other side of this fridge right here that houses another 4 of them. So this guy is going to be able to allow that stereo system to just pump all day long without any worry. We do have solar on the top to help kind of offset, when it's sunny out. I think we've got 400 watts. Chance is going to have to chime in on that one. I probably gave the wrong numbers, but as we move through here, you can see that it's not just your traditional sterile, if somebody was going to go get a food truck made, we still have our really clean, beautiful finishes on our cowlings, amazing stitch work, top level quality, and products that we choose to work with. And everything is just, the fit and finish is perfection. So I think it's kind of a nice change up in the combination between something that needs to pass and be approved by the health department and not be kind of cold and sterile. It allows for a lot of warmth, and it's very inviting in here. So as we move into the blue zone, we got a couple cool features. I mean, kind of what stands out right here is just this this soda sprayer. So this guy sits in a little holder right there, and the whole machine and the guts of it sits under this cabinet, and it's the complete setup. It's the cold box, and it's the exchanger, and your CO2 tank, and your water system, and everything. And we've got a little ball cock on there so you can drain out your ice at the end of the day. But it's nice and concise, and it all just kind of fits into this one spot. And that is fed right here. And so these are our sodas, our syrups in a box. So we got 3 of them for these guys, plus seltzer water that they can use. But kind of a pretty awesome thing to just be able to grab this, hand it out in one of your brand new Owala cups. It's great. Commercial ice maker right there, so you can put them in a cup or toss them and keep your machine cold. And then that moves us into the required hand washing sink. So that, again, we've got another piece of acrylic that pops out, keep it out of the way. And one of the cool features, I mean, I gotta give a shout out to our designer, Big Kev. The guy thinks outside the box and comes up with cool stuff that we don't even ask about. But we did this little backsplash over the weekend, and he just like, look what I did. And so he did a little CNC cutout of the Owala's design in this backsplash. Makes a nice little feature that kind of glows throughout the countertops. But yeah, I mean, as you turn this way and you're able to face where you're set up and the people coming in, it's just like a really easy transition between operating and fulfilling people's needs, orders, products, stuff like that. But not, even though you're in a big van and you're stepped away, you don't feel like you've got a walled off area. You're still this nice transition. You can lean in and kind of be a part of the conversation without kind of being pulled back. You can also grab random stuff out here, toss it, have storage. And so yeah, I mean, this is overall something that the company came to us and they basically said, hey, we have a van we need to get done. If you guys can do this in about 6 weeks, we'll give you the contract. If not, we don't know what to do. And so from that phone call to us turning this over, we had an extra week, but from design, I mean, conceptualizing everything, it's 7 weeks to get to this point. So we had a full team ready to just jump into this and absolutely crush it. Even though it was a short time frame, we didn't take any shortcuts. We didn't say, oh, we can't do that, or I wish we had time for that. It was just like, let's do it all, let's make it work. Even the uniqueness of these countertops and sourcing them in time and being able to figure out how to install them and get them to look right. The stereo system, everything, it's like the whole team came together and produced a really awesome product. So if anybody has any questions or inquiries, we would love to keep building these really awesome event rigs. And I think we can design and create a lot of different ways, even though it's a small box that you're limited to. Just imagination that's going to stop what we can do for somebody's company. So if interested, give us a shout, give us a call, reparadise.co, and give us a thumbs up.